This week on the Husky Update.
The country heads to the polls to vote in the 2018 midterm elections, including those overseas. The Red Sox celebrate their victory over the Dodgers with a grand parade, and Northeastern students participate in the events of homecoming. All this and more on this week's episode of the Husky Update.
Your campus, your news, all the time. From the Showman Studio, here is the Husky Update.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Husky Update. My name is Sophie Cato, and here's the week's news. The midterm elections occurred last week on November 6th, and our team covered the election from the U.S. and abroad. Reporter Scott Adelberg discusses how he voted while studying in Italy.
This semester, I am studying abroad in Rome at John Caput University. With me are a number of study abroad students from the U.S., as well as many NUN students. Ever since we arrived on campus, there have been many desks trying to encourage us to register to vote and to sign up for absentee ballots. But there are a number of steps in being able to vote from Italy, including making sure to properly mail your ballot. Some, like Maggie, chose not to vote at all.
I decided not to vote because it's hard to get the absentee ballot and it just adds more stress while abroad, making sure you get it in on time and delivered back on time.
Others, like Miles, live in states which make it easier to vote from anywhere in the world.
I chose to vote for this midterm election due to its easy online access from my home state of Colorado and avoiding the hassle of paper ballots, of receiving and sending them home.
From Rome, Italy, I'm Scott Adelberg. Back to you in Boston.
Thanks, Scott. On midterm election day, NUTV reporters Corey and Nikki went to the polls to ask voters about voters' rights, the voting process, and issues important to their local communities.
To your knowledge, what are the issues that are most important to people in this region?
There's a lot of question 3 going around. I feel like that was a really important issue, especially in Massachusetts, how we're definitely a more liberal state. It's important to keep the rights equal for everyone.
I would say number 3. Question number 3 was about trans protection. It's a pretty big deal. I personally voted yes, but I think number 2 is also very important, getting big money out of politics.
People have gotten the impression that question 1, nurses are actually really pushing for the yes on it, and I think I know the implications of the law mean different things for different hospitals.
I think question 3 is really big about the transgender bathroom rights, and then also Ayanna Priestley's election she's pretty much a shoo-in at this point, but it would be a really huge thing to have a woman of color from Massachusetts on the House of Representatives.
So how was the process exactly? Was it easy to register and also to vote here today?
The biggest difficulty I faced was tracking down where I was actually registered. I registered previously at a previous address. My address has changed and I tried to update it this year, but that seems that did not go through, so I need to go to a different precinct now.
As a voter, do you feel like the right to vote has been respected during these midterm elections?
I know it's been a topic of discussion in terms of how available it is and accessible it is. I know that it's been made difficult for certain people to be able to vote, especially in other states. I don't really know about Massachusetts. I don't think we're a main offender in that sense, but I definitely know there's a lot of improvements that can be made.
For a full look at their coverage, tune in next week to our midterm special. And now we hand it over to Saki with a special Election Day edition of Rapid Fire to discuss the results of the races throughout the country.
Thanks, Sophie. My name is Saki Singh, and welcome to the midterm election edition of Rapid Fire. The midterm elections took place on November 6, 2018, and included contentious House, Senate, and state races throughout the country. In Massachusetts, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren was able to easily win re-election for her second term. Republican Governor Charlie Baker was also able to easily win re-election for a second term of his own. In Massachusetts' 7th congressional district, which Northeastern's campus is within, Democratic Ayanna Pressley was able to win the House of Representatives election as the seat was uncontested. This will be her first term in office. There were 3 ballot measures voted on this year. Proposition 1 would have a set limit on the number of patients a nurse would be allowed to be assigned to. It failed nearly 70-30. Proposition 2 would create a commission to recommend a U.S. constitutional amendment to limit campaign spending. It passed about 70-30. And finally, and perhaps the most discussed, was Proposition 3, which would uphold a ban on discrimination of transgender individuals in public spaces. It passed about 67 to 32. Taking a step back, the Democrats were able to gain a majority in the House of Representatives by flipping more than 30 seats that were held by Republicans. This will be the first time the Democrats won control of the House since 2008. They were able to do this by flipping many suburban districts throughout the country, but especially in Northeast states like New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. In the Senate, the Republicans were not only able to maintain their majority, but expand it. They were able to do this by flipping Democrat-held seats in Indiana, Missouri, and North Dakota. They held on to all their seats except for Nevada, which flipped to Democrats. As of November 9th, the races in Florida and Arizona are still too close to call. The new Congress will be sworn in on January 3rd, 2019. That's all for Rapid Fire. Back to you, Sophie.
Thanks, Saki. In other news, the Boston Red Sox were able to defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the 2018 World Series. On October 31st, the Red Sox paraded around Boston in duck boats to celebrate their World Series win. The parade started in Fenway and continued down Boylston Street, where thousands of spectators stood to cheer on their champions. Riding on the boats were all the Red Sox players, including superstars JD Martinez and David Price. Also riding in the parade were Red Sox and Boston Globe owner John Henry, who with his team showed off the World Series trophy to the crowd. In campus news, homecoming came to campus. One of the biggest events was comedian Tina Fey coming to campus on November 8th. Reporter Advika Grover was at the scene to speak with some people waiting in line for the event.
Hi, I'm Advika Grover, and we're in front of Matthews Arena, where Tina Fey is just about to headline an event for homecoming. Are you excited for Tina Fey?
I could not be more excited for Tina Fey at Northeastern University.
I am, yes, very excited.
Yes, I'm very excited for Tina Fey.
I'm so excited. I think she's hilarious, and I'm really excited to hang out with her tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Big 30 Rock fan, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, SNL. She's also from Upper Darby, PA, Philadelphia representing PA.
What's your favorite thing that she's ever done?
Mean Girls, I'd say. SNL.
Oh, definitely seen Kimmy Schmidt. That was a good one too. Yeah, I like her in that as well. Yeah.
SNL. I like that more than the Kimmy Schmidt stuff actually. And 30 Rock, of course.
I've seen her in some of her comedy shows, so those roles are definitely my favorite things to see.
My favorite thing she's ever done, obviously fantastic on SNL, but 30 Rock, one of the best sitcoms I've ever seen.
I don't know, I love Liz Lemon on 30 Rock, honestly. Like, that's a classic character, probably that. But she's done so much, like, it's hard to pick a favorite.
So, is there anything you're hoping that she's going to do tonight?
I'm just happy to see her. No expectations.
Make me laugh.
Same. I don't want to predict the future, but if we were to see a little Sarah Palin impersonation come out today, I would be pretty pumped.
Just be your comedic fun self, give us a good story, and tell us about who she is.
Honestly, I don't really know what to expect, what the show's going to be. I know she's been doing a lot of political stuff lately, so I mean, I'm open for anything. I don't know if it's a stand-up routine or a Q&A or what the situation is, but I'm excited for it. I'm happy to hear her speak.
This is Advika Grover with NUTV News, signing out.
Thanks, Advika. On Friday, November 9th, the homecoming tailgate party was held.
This is Sterling reporting from Matthew Arenas. A tailgate party is being held outside of Arena where fans are excited for the match between Northeastern Husky and the University of Connecticut. So do you think the Northeastern Husky have a good chance of winning championship tonight?
Well, winning the game, and I think they have a good chance of repeating as Beanpot champions and have a good chance of going to the NCAAs and even have a good chance of making it to Buffalo, the Frozen Four.
Well, it's going to be a good matchup with UConn, I think.
Yeah. So,
It's against Huskies.
So which team are you rooting for?
Oh, Northeastern, of course. Yeah.
Huge fan of the Northeastern Huskies.
Okay.
Got the...
This is Sterling from NUTV News, signing off.
That's the news. The rest is up to you. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page to stay up to date with Husky Update. My name is Sophie Cato. Thank you for watching.